Okay, I built a Roblox game based on your favorite TV show in 24 hours, and if you can guess all 3 before the video ends, you can get a high five. Yeah, sure. But there's a catch. Each stage gets harder, and the last one is impossible to guess. So let's see if you can make it. Starting off with the first stage. So I did a rectangular shape for the border and a wooden floor with a red strip of carpet in the middle. And by the way, this is one of my childhood cartoon shows, just to give you guys a clue. But after some time, I finished designing the room, and as you can see, it's a long hallway. But next, I added things on the floor that would be obstacles. First, it was a purple speaker, and then I added a pink car. And if you've seen the show, you know who uses this pink car. For the pink car, I've added a script that I'm sorry, but do you mind? Makes it move forward and backwards, so it becomes a fun obstacle for the players. And another script so that if the player touches the car, they die. Okay, so let's test it out. And it works, let's go. After that, I kept adding more and more stuff, which also do relate to the characters in the show, until the room looked like 20 people had been living in it. Then I planned out a door to the next stage. I made it so the door will only open when a player types the correct name of the show in the chat. And once they do, the door opens and lets them move on to the next stage. So I'm pretty much done, so let's test it out. And it's a very basic obby, I must say, so I think I should make it longer. What do you guys think? So I stretched out the border and then added some toxic green substance which will kill the player if they touch it. But the player needs something to stand on, right? So I added a purple colored guitar which the players can stand on. But why is it specifically purple, you may ask? Well, that's another clue. After a while, I've added a bunch of objects that the players can jump on. And the last one is a whoopee cushion, which the players have to bounce on to go to the next stage. Okay, time to test it out. Okay, so dodge that. Go on the balls. So tennis balls don't hurt you guys, by the way. And then dodge the car, go through the guitar, go through these small boring obstacles, and then jump. And then the whoopee cushion, done. Okay, now I have to type in the show in chat. Okay, and that's blurred out for you guys so you can't see it. And that's done. And if you guys think you know the show, comment down below. Wait, that rhymes. But also like, subscribe and press that bell so you know every single time I upload. But with that being said, let's move to stage 2. Woohoo!
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
Now for the second stage, I did a more thicker rectangle and then added a carpet, and in the show it turns into a table. Why do I keep giving you guys clues? Then after, I've added the iconic pink couch that they slouch on. And then a bunch of pictures on the wall. Then I realized that you can easily tell what show this is just by adding 3 things, but it was too late to swap them. So I continued by adding a bunch of things on the floor to make it look a bit confusing. Then the place looked extremely messy, which was good for the challenge. And what is the challenge, you may ask? Well, the players have to count the number of burgers and burritos in the room to move on. And if you've watched the show, you know which episode I'm talking about. So then I made the instructions more easy to understand by giving you guys an example. Then I added it onto a sign. So after that, I carefully hid all the burgers and burritos across the room. So what's that then? Anyways, so then I copied the script from the first door onto this door. So when the players type in the correct numbers in chat, the door will open. But don't forget, they also have to type the name of the show and then they can move on. So I made that clear with a sign. I then remembered that the first stage doesn't have a sign. So I quickly did that. And now it's finally time to test the stage. So walk straight, yep, just like this, up, yep. And then type the numbers in like so, because I already know the numbers. And now go through and type the name of the show in chat. And there we go, too easy guys. And now moving on to stage 3. Now finally, for the last stage, I thought about combining the obby aspect from the first stage and the hunt aspect from the second one. So I started off with a square shape for the border and then coloured it purple with a brick texture. Then I added things that I knew the character in the show would have, like a shrink ray and a control panel. And in the show, it looked like the place had a bunch of pipes, which I knew they were failed machines. But then I continued to add more things that looked like evil machines, like this satellite dish, arcade machines, and these computers. Then I added a conveyor belt with purple robots working on absolutely nothing. After that, I started working on the obby, so the players have to go around the map to get the code. And in this section, I added parts that move up and down to make it more difficult. And then I did some more parts of the obby and made another difficult section, but this time there's colors. And I added a script that will make the color go from green to red in a pattern. And then I did some more boring parts of the obby until I reached the end. And then for the end, I made it so Agent P tells you the code, and then I added it to the end. And then made a sign saying that the players should find Agent P to unlock the door. And of course, through the door, the players have to type in the name of the show. So I think the room's pretty full and evil enough, but I realized that the player could zoom out and easily see the code without having to do the obby. So I changed that. And now let's test it out, but in 2 times speed. Okay, walk up, jump, jump. Okay, I messed up again, messed up. Okay, now go up. Yep. Go quickly, yep, jump, 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 jump. Here. Okay, now it's hard. Jump, 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 jump. Done. Okay, now go around this thing. Got the robot. Now jump, jump, jump. Oh my goodness, it lagged, guys, it lagged. Okay, that didn't happen. Jump, jump, jump. Nice. Jump, jump, jump. Yeah, nice. Okay, jump, 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 jump. Nice. Now we see. Now we type in the chat. Boom, 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 boom. Done. And type in the show. Boom, 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 Done. Let's go. And now for the start and end lobbies, I made the floor blue and put fences all around. Then added some bright checkpoints at each stage. And after that, I've added a part that would teleport a player back to the start after completing the game, and added a sign to go with it. And to give the winners a prize, I added a gravity coil, and I did promise you guys a high five if you guessed all the TV shows correctly. And by the way, that's not my actual hand, just in case you're wondering. And I finally added the leaderboard that will show the fastest time a player completed the game. And I will be joining the game to see who has the fastest time, and I'll pin the person in the comments. And last but not least, I did the icon. And first I put a TV there, but then I was confused on what to do next. So I looked at Roblox for inspiration, and I decided to use an obby but you're on a bike to help me. And how did it help you, you may ask? Well, I used a first person view as an idea, so I cropped the arms from this bacon hair, and then added the background from the second stage because I didn't know what to do next. And then I played around with the logo colours until I went with red. This might be the worst icon you've ever seen, but that's all I had in me. Pause. And that's the game and video complete. Be sure to stick around for more content like this. And try out the game, the link is in the description. With that being said, keep smiling. Peace.